Peace. What's going on? I want to read something to you real quick. Bear with me. It's relevant to what we're going to talk about, what we're going to discuss in this video. So, a guy made a comment. A guy named Doug Bones made a comment on a video that I did last night, called "There's Nothing But Actors, Rappers, and Airbeds in Atlanta." Please, I'm sorry. But anyway, this is his comment. I just want to read it to you real quick. Healthcare, IT, logistics are abundant in Atlanta. Come on down here, folks. Microsoft, Google, Facebook have offices here. Emory Healthcare has a lot of facilities here. Plenty of trucking companies here. There's a difference between critiquing and hating on the city. So the first thing I want to say is that what are you human resources now? Are you taking in applications? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just being real, Doug Bones. You told everybody to come on down here because you mentioned these companies, corporations such as Microsoft, Facebook, Google, Emory Healthcare. Do you work for these places? You know what I'm saying? Can you guarantee these jobs, for these people that you're telling to come down to Atlanta? The second thing is you mentioned this. There's plenty of trucking companies here. You fail to mention that the trucking companies, the trucking industry is being turned upside down, because right now they're actually testing unmanned trucks, 18-wheeler trucks. Sooner than later, in a couple of years from now, there will be unmanned trucks on the highways. In other words, automation, robots are taking over our jobs. Straight up. From all the way down from entry-level jobs to all the way up to the top. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? Robots don't need a day off. They don't need paid vacation. They don't need health care. They don't need a 15, 20-minute break. They don't need an hour lunch. Hell, they don't even need to eat lunch. See, this is the problem. When people always talk, like their rebuttal, when I'm talking about Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? Their rebuttal is, we got all of these jobs down here and blah, 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 blah. But you know what? I'm going to let this other guy speak on it, because I think he did a better job than, I can actually do on this particular subject. So this guy, Derek Lyons, commented to Doug Bones, the comment that I just read. So he said, Derek Lyons, those IT and healthcare jobs are hard to get due to so many people applying. Wages are also lower due to so many people applying. If it's 1,000 people applying for the same job as you, then good paying job prospects are slim to none. I know 2 people with degrees in nursing and web development that left Atlanta and went to places like Texas and North Dakota and made way more money while dealing with less crime and BS. People with degrees come to Atlanta all the time and still have a hard time finding jobs. There's too many people and not enough decent paying jobs. He also said this. I'm not trying to be negative. I just know lots of blacks here with degrees that's still underemployed and getting low pay. I can't look at Atlanta as the black mecca when there's lots of educated blacks that's unemployed, underemployed, or damn near homeless. And it's crazy because when I talk about Atlanta, people in the comment section, oftentimes I hear this. Oh, you're putting down the city, you know what I'm saying? You're putting down, this black city that's, and black people are prospering here, and there's jobs, and there's this and that. And it's crazy, like it's the same, rebuttal, you know what I'm saying? It's jobs down here, and people making a lot of money. But the thing of it is that you all fail to mention, how is it actually like living down there. Like the crime, the HIV cases, the homelessness, the traffic. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, they're talking about extending the MARTA system, you know what I'm saying? And just improving the public transportation in and around Metro Atlanta. But this is going to be like the final, like the final cut are like when they're totally finished by 2040. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm bashing Atlanta. I'm just speaking of facts. And I don't understand that. I don't understand why black people, you got one thing to say, right? That's opposite of what they're saying. They'll call you a hater or you're being negative. And to me, that's a cop-out. Straight up. You just don't want me to tell the truth about Atlanta. Real talk. Or I hear this other comment, well, all cities are this way and that way and blah, 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 blah. But guess what? Let's just be real. Black people are not moving in drones to like different cities like they are to Atlanta. Or I'll be truthful with you, you know what I'm saying? Like they are to Atlanta, and then it's Houston, Charlotte, and I think Jacksonville. Not Jacksonville, Tampa, if I'm not mistaken. And Raleigh. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be real. Atlanta is like the number one place to move to right about now. And all I'm doing is just warning my people. That's it. So let me get this right. Let me get this right. So you the type of person to do this, right? You see someone about to get robbed and you don't say nothing. You don't call 911. You know what I'm saying? You don't tell the police, that, it's somebody about to get robbed and this and that and so forth. You just let it happen. I'm not going to do that. That's not the type of person I am. I'm going to let my people know because we've been through enough. You understand? So you'll say that I'm negative, right? So let me give a positive solution of what I think black folks should do, right? Because there's not only racism around Atlanta. There's a thing called classism that's in Atlanta. Fake people trying to have more than what they say that they have. It's all types of fake mess going on. BBLs. The list goes on. Everybody knows that's in Atlanta. You can't take dating serious in Atlanta. But this is what I recommend to black people, right? A couple years I read about this, right? I think I'm pretty sure I'm gonna check up on it. You know what I'm saying? When I get off, because I just thought about it. It just came to mind when I stopped this video. I'm gonna check up on it. 19 black families bought 97 acres of land in a place called Wilkinson, Georgia. And their plans, and this was highlighted in Essence as well as USA Today. They did a cover story on it. Their plans are to build houses, a horse stable, farm, and a couple other things. I'm pretty sure that they're going to eventually build a school there. In other words, what I'm saying is that I think we all need to build our own little small communities. And I know what you're going to say. Well, we tried to do that. We did that in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Black Wall Street. And look what happened to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Well, see, the thing of it is that black people have a problem with protecting and defending themselves. When they rightfully have, let me put it to you, they have the right to protect and defend themselves. Under the Constitution, the Second Amendment, it says you have the right to bear arms. In other words, what I'm saying is that once you build a community, you also have to what? Protect it. So that no one can come in and do what they did in Tulsa, Oklahoma ever again. And matter of fact, that would never happen again. Well, let me take that back, because in the 80s, they had the MOVE movement in Philadelphia. And this was a black mayor, if I'm not mistaken, that authorized the police to drop a bomb on those row houses. And so, hey man, we at least got to try. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, why do we continue to live this lie that Atlanta is just, it's so great, and it's this and it's that? When I was living down there, I didn't have a job. You know what I'm saying? I made my money online because I just saw the struggle. People having 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 jobs, all for nothing. Like, you got all of these jobs and you're trying to pay rent, but then at the same time, you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, and which I don't understand. I just don't understand. I just don't get it. You got all these name brand clothes, you know what I'm saying? You got this Mercedes Benz and all of this stuff, and you don't get to enjoy the fruits that you bear because you're at work trying to pay for the fruits that, you know what I'm saying, that you bear. Whether it's a car or a house, you're never at home. Like, they don't ever talk. People that glorify Atlanta, they don't ever talk about just standard living, everyday living. I can tell you straight up, and I'm not trying to brag about it at all, but I can tell you, every day I get up in the morning, I see my children. I drop my son off at school, you know what I'm saying? And I go to the gym and I work on myself. I come back, I eat, we all eat together lunch. My kids don't know anything about school lunch. About them cold pepperoni pieces and the spaghetti. They don't know anything about that. We all eat lunch together. And then at the end of the day, we all eat dinner together. If you're not kissing your babies at night and getting them up in the morning, what are you doing this for? Straight up. You just want to go out there and bust your ass just to say I got a whole bunch of fiat notes. That's it. You want to be proud of that? Talking about you a boss? But you don't even have your own currency? The currency that you spend? Your face is not on it, but you a boss though. You bossed up. You don't see the game? For the sake of the conversation, the paper that presidents are stamped on, a family makes the paper called the Crane family. Now I want to ask you, did you know that? Do you even know what a fiat note is? But you steadily running in the gerbil's wheel, chasing after that paper, and they keep on, or rather should I say cheese, and they keep on slowly but surely pulling it away from you. You keep on running and running and running. And in reality, you're going nowhere. People brag and say, yeah, I live on the 15th floor in Buckhead. What's the difference between the 15th floor and the first floor in that building? Because guess what? Whether you're on the 15th, the 14th, the 13th, all the way to the first, you don't own it. Like, reality is, is Atlanta really a black city? Or is it just blackface? Trying to get it, trying to understand. And what form of payment does the Crane family ask from the U.S. Treasury? How does the U.S. Treasury pay the Crane family for giving them those rolls of paper for the U.S. Treasury to print, or rather should I say stamp dead presidents on? I'm more than sure it's not U.S. currency. I'm more than sure it's probably like gold or something like that. Because the dollar bill is worthless. It's not backed by anything. But yeah, get on Atlanta. You go down there and you're hustling. Every day I'm hustling. You want to brag about that, which bugs me out, man. What about the public school system down there? Like, these are the things that I bring up, and people keep on telling me that I'm a hater and that there's job opportunities and there's all of these tech jobs and this and that and healthcare and blah, 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 blah. Well, if it's all of these jobs and opportunity, why is there so many homeless people down there? Why are so many people struggling down there? Why? I just want to know. Please let me know. Let's talk about the apartments. You know, they you see, this is where they get you at. They say there's luxury apartments down in good old Atlanta. Well, I've lived in those so-called luxury apartments, and they're trash. Yeah, they decorate the whole outside part, you know what I'm saying? When you walk in, it's gated community, you know, gates come on. Half of the time, the gates don't even work on most of these apartment complexes. You know what I'm saying? You come in, the clubhouse is decent, you know what I'm saying? But then when you go inside your apartment, it's trash. You know, I had a person make a comment in the comment section of one of these videos talking about you from New York, and it's at first and foremost, I'm like, really technically not. I'm not a full-blown New Yorker. I'm like a hybrid. I've lived in New York, you know what I'm saying, and I've lived in the South, you know what I'm saying, for years. But let's just roll with you saying that I'm a New Yorker, you know, and he talks about how, and I'm making it relevant, hear me out. He talks about how, you know, I was up there in New York with roaches and da-da-da-da, and I'm like, come on, please. Stop the cat. Stop it. First and foremost, you don't know me. That's the first thing. The second thing is y'all act like there are no roaches in Atlanta. See, you call it a different name. You may call them palmetto bugs. You may call them tree bugs. You may call them water bugs. But guess what? The roaches in New York, they were like this big. The ones in Atlanta are this big. And they're everywhere. They're here in Charlotte. I'm not going to even lie. They're here in North Carolina. They're mostly in the South. North Carolina, South Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia, Florida. Stop it. The ones in Florida fly. And that's what you get down there. When you're in these apartments, a whole bunch of these big bugs that you got to kill every day. But they don't tell you about that. They don't tell you about, like, gas prices are high, but then they're extremely, excuse me, you're wasting tons of gas because Atlanta's a whole bunch of hills. A whole bunch of hills. You got to go up and down, up and down. And that drains your gas tank. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about when you go into these so-called luxury apartments. You know what they do? When someone moves out and then you move in, you know what they do? They don't clean the bathtub. They just paint over it. That's my word. This is what you're getting in Atlanta. But when I start talking about these things, I'm a hater. I dislike Atlanta. And let me tell you something. I've done a video and I've said, I love Atlanta. I'm talking about far as, you know, it's a beautiful place to live, but the people are horrible down there. Racism, classism, uppity Negroes, Boule, Talent Temp, WEB, the boys. You know what I'm saying? People want to look down on everybody. Because if you ain't making no money, you ain't about that money, please. But I'm the bad guy. And I just don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about the police. The police force down there. You got Georgia State Patrol. You got state troopers. You got Cobb County. You got Marietta Police. You got Dunwoody, Sandy Springs, East Point, College Park. And you could get pulled over for a minor traffic infraction like I did, you know, failure to come to a complete stop at a stop sign. And you know what they did to me? And that was just a minor traffic infraction. They put me on probation. So just think about, like, if it was something bigger than that, you know, a speeding ticket or something like, you know, just bigger than that. It ain't the move. Atlanta's not the move. Straight up. Now, you can go down there and try to prove me wrong. I don't know what you're trying to prove me wrong for. You know, and then the last thing is this. Let me say this and then I'm done. Oftentimes people say, well, you didn't make it down there. That's the reason why you got chased out. First of all, I was no kingpin down there. I wasn't pushing that weight. I wasn't in no gangs. I wasn't in trouble. I was staying in the good areas. You know, I stayed in Marietta and I stayed in Sandy Springs. I didn't really see too much, negativity. You know, most of my negativity or violence that I saw was on the news. You know what I'm saying? I saw a little bit here and there, but for the most part, I saw a lot of it on the news. So I wasn't chased out of Atlanta. I left Atlanta. My lease was up and I left. Just admit this. I'm straight up and then I'm done. Just say that you love living this fake Hollywood life and leave it at that. And I'll be fine with that. But don't get up here and tell me I'm putting down a city. I'm putting your city down as if I'm lying about what I'm saying. Because I'm not. That plain and simple. Atlanta is a farce. It is a big lie. It's a big cap. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And all I'm trying to give you all is a reality. That's it. Other than that, my name is Langston 2092. I want you to like, comment, subscribe. Definitely share this video.